Welcome back to the Think a Better Thought Training Your Mind for Success 101 Deep Dive Series with yours truly, Shane Boring, the author and host of this series. And today, we're going to talk about the wreckage of the future. Yeah, chapter 14. What is the wreckage of the future? Worry, worry. Worry deprives you of strength and makes everything much worse than what actually is. Dr. Anil Krishna, I can't say the name. Yeah, the wreckage of the future. Wow. Yeah. You ever worry about stuff? Got a friend a while back. He said, "Hey, you worry about something? Just tie a knot in that rope and hang on, buddy. 2 weeks, be gone." Think about it. What were you worried about 2 weeks ago? Is it still going on? Is it happening? Was it as bad as it seemed when the sky was falling? Don't get me wrong, there is a lot that you could choose to worry about right now. I mean, the world is going to hell. Is that thinking a better thought? No, let's change that. The world's not going to hell. The bad people who have brought the world to hell, maybe they're going to hell and we're getting a heaven out of it. We're getting them all cleaned out. And it's just a little messy right now. But yeah, the wreckage of the future. If you start worrying about what's going to happen and all that, you'll lose your mind. Now, does that mean to not prepare? Absolutely not. We are preparing constantly as we do the work here. We're preparing our minds to work for us, not our egos. We're preparing our minds to protect us when we do something dumb, like get angry, get frustrated, worry, for it to say, "Hey, remember, you don't want to do that anymore. Check in, do a reset." We're preparing for that by doing the work. So I'm not saying don't plan ahead, those kind of things. Just don't worry. Okay. So let's break down worry for what it really is. Can you worry about what is happening exactly right this very second? Or are you actually dealing with it? I would argue you're not worrying about it when you're dealing with it. You're just doing it. Okay. I got fired from my job in 2005. I worried about getting fired for a couple of days. I had a friend tell me, "You haven't lived until you've been fired." As soon as I heard those words, I'm like, well, I get fired, fuck it, I get fired. Guess what? I got fired. Worrying about it did me no good. It was going to happen anyway. It was going to happen anyway. So I wasted all that time and energy. I think in the Bible, it says, "Do not be afraid," 365 times. Depends on what version you get, which that's a crock of shit right there, how many versions there are. Another conversation. Okay. Can you worry about what happened yesterday? Is that worrying? I mean, it already happened, right? It's not worrying. You can only worry about a future event. That's why I call it the wreckage of the future. Everything you do happens when? It happens now, not in the past, not in the future. You're living now. Stay here. Pinch yourself. If you have to, I'm here. I'm here. Do it. You will get better at it. See that I have people really close to me who are really working on bettering their thinking. And it's hard because they're doing stuff that's not comfortable. They're not used to. And they don't like it. But they also don't like what they've been experiencing for most of their lives. And we're what? This is January 4th today. I'm recording this on January 4th. We're only 4 days in the New Year's resolutions. And you may be watching this in November. So if you are, hey, this is good prep for you. Good morning. I'm only 4 days in and they're ready to quit. I'm like, I don't know if I can do this. I feel like a fraud. I'm not even, I mean, I'm saying I'm thinking positive, but I'm not. I'm just acting. You know what I said? I said, then act. Act. Do the act. Sometimes you just have to act your way into right thinking. There's no other way. You have to act. And I've already talked about the NASA goggle study, remember? Flips everything upside down. It was the action of leaving those glasses on that rewired their brain and flipped the image. It was the action of quitting that did not allow that miracle to happen. You're taking action one way or another, Buddy Rowe. It's your choice. You can quit and be a loser. That's what you are when you quit. No other way to say it. If you're a quitter, you're a loser. I've quit before. I've been a loser. Not a loser anymore. Because, because the thing is, I mean, it's another secret. All you have to do is not give up, and it'll eventually fall in your lap. You're not going to know when or how or whatever, but just don't quit. Stay in the fight. You can stay in the fight. You may feel like you have no business being in the fight. These people that you're trying to break into their field or new career or whatever have been there 20 years, 10 years. They're making it seem so tough and they're not helping you out at all. Don't quit. You may get fired from that job. It may not work out, but don't quit. Keep moving forward. It's going to happen. You're going to find the happiness you want. You're going to figure out what you really want. I promise you, if you're sitting on day 4 and you're rethinking your resolutions, if you're in that place, you are not clear on what you want. And the only way that I know how to get there is to act like you are clear and just do the work. How did I do it? When I set my goal, I set a financial goal because I thought that's what I wanted, $31 million. That was it. And I worked on that every day. I did, I acted. I've acted like the the millionaire, all this. And then one day I said, well, wait, why is it $31 million? What's that for? What am I doing here? And I said, I need money, but it's just a tool. It's only good if I use it. So what if I change my focus instead of money? I change it to the experience with my family. I can figure out how much that experience might cost so that I can have a financial goal to pay for it. I'm not going to need it because if I really focus on that experience and what I want, it will happen if I believe it. It does every time. If you haven't done it, you can't say that it doesn't work. If you haven't done the work, I've done the work. I've made it happen. And I'm here with you. Where are you? Okay. I'll tell you a little story. So this is in the book, when I first started my advertising business, I'd just gotten fired. Remember I told you last video I got fired? Yeah, I just gotten fired. And or maybe it was this video, I can't remember. Either last video or this video, I got fired. But if I didn't get fired, I wouldn't have my business today. Getting fired actually turned into 5 businesses. So, but we're doing the work. We have no clients. It's January 2006. And it is not going good. I've been making cold calls all morning. Dee Dee and I have been making cold calls all morning, trying to find a client. There's no money coming in. Pull over next to a park. I'm just like, oh my God. I don't know. I thought I knew what I was doing. I don't know if we're going to be able to make it. I mean, I was crying. I mean, we had prayed. We were fasting that day. And at 10:30, I'm by the side of the road crying. It's going so hard. So, I mean, we've been working a full day, right? 10:30 a.m. Let me read this next line to you. I need my glasses so I don't mess it up. By 11 a.m., we were seated at my favorite Mexican restaurant, enjoying a delicious lunch. So much for fasting. Still didn't have a client, but we did have enough to enjoy food, shelter, and many other conveniences. We were choosing to look at what was not real. The more we focused on what we didn't have, the more we created our own misery. Worrying about not having any clients was almost driving us to the point of giving up. Somehow we persisted, and I think the only reason why is because I didn't have a choice. I had to get it done. And the next week, client number 1 got him. And it was just enough to keep things going. And then the next month, client 2 came in, and then boom, client 3. And there was never anything to worry about. There was need for action. There was need for effort. Worry was a waste of time. So I want to challenge you to apply the concept of now, N-O-W, to all your problems. There's no need to torture yourself over the future or the past. Past has already happened. So the only choice really is to accept the past. And then how much value does worry about future experiences really have for you? Think about it. The great Mark Twain said, I am an old man and have known a great many troubles, but most of them never happened. I mean, it's like I read that and I'll still worry about shit. I already asked you this. Can you remember what you worried about 2 weeks ago? Right now, what are you worried about? What problems do you have? What people or circumstances do you believe are out to get you? Think about all your previous worries. Did most of them happen? Or were they as bad as you feared with your worry? Was it as bad as you thought it'd be? When you were in the moment with those problems, what were you doing? Were you worrying? Now you're dealing with it, doing the work. As bad as it may have been, you had everything you needed at that moment to deal with that problem. Think about it. It might have been bad, but you had everything you needed to deal with it in the way you were dealing with it. Still here. Doesn't mean you dealt with them all in the right way either, but you're still here. And the truth is you've always been able to deal with problems as you needed to. You dealt with it, you accepted it. Ideally, you would move on. Or did you worry about it? Not if you had accepted it. No room for worry once there's acceptance. All right, I'm gonna give you another example. So a few years ago, I accompanied my wife to a surgical consultation. We have 4 kids, they're all adults now. But pregnancy does a number to a woman's body. If you ever carried a child, you know well more than I do, because I've only been able to observe. I've never experienced it. Okay. So 4 kids, sometimes things break, right? So she's going in for a consultation, and it's not her first surgery. And I could tell she was bottled up. She was anxious, right? Really nervous. So you okay? She's no, I'm not. Well, what are you worried about? So I'm worried about the surgery. Like, what do you mean? I don't want it to be, I don't want the pain. I don't want to be sick. I don't, all this. I'm like, yeah. Right now, though, are you in pain? Are you having that surgery right now? Or are we just going to talk about it? And when she realized that she didn't have to go there right now, that was unnecessary, that she could be present and feeling good, it made her day completely different. It was easy for me to see, what do you worry about? It wasn't as easy for her because she was in it. Her ego was pounding away. Same with me. Like, she can see when I'm worried. I'm like, I'm not worried. So if you're alone, you don't have somebody else to help you out. Or even if you do, you gotta have little thought provokers, things that, like, this is a little tube of stuff. It's not supposed to be here, but I pick it up. Am I thinking okay? What am I thinking about? Am I worried? What do I need to be working on? This is the only way. You have to check in. You can have all these tools and read about it. Yeah. It's meaningless if you don't put it into action. And it's meaningless if you're acting every once in a while. It's constant action, constant monitoring. You have to work to that. I say that every video, don't I? All right. Chapter summary, okay? I've got a great view here, right? I'm looking at all these trees. So I want you to go outside after this, or if you can look out a window, look at nature. Look at if you got pets in the house, see animal, or maybe not in the house, outside. We taught our inside pets to be stupid. So look at nature, nothing domesticated, okay? Look outside at nature. Do you ever see or notice animals or plants worrying about anything? If animals could talk, what time, if you asked them what time it is, what time would they tell you it is? They would say, now. Now, right? Time, what is time? It's simply a method created to measure experience. We humans, we like to worry like it's a contest. We have actually made it socially acceptable to worry. Think about it. We've made it socially acceptable to worry. How easy is it for you to engage in a conversation about your problems versus what's going good in your life? Notice how you naturally feel like contributing to a friend's story of loss or sharing about a similar problem they're having the next time you're engaged in a conversation with someone complaining. Notice how you want to join the club of misfortune and make your contributions of failure and loss. Your worries literally create what you worry about. Observe when you worry about problems. Ask yourself if there is any benefit to you worrying about it. Ask yourself if worry will fix the problem. If you're going to have to deal with your problems anyway, what is the benefit of worrying about them? Simply observe your answers. Observe them and do nothing else. You'll see your worries drift away as if by magic. Gone. Gone with the wind. What is the point of worrying then? Ask yourself, what benefit does worrying give me? Can you really find any benefit? Really search. Dig deep. We all have been picking up worries our entire lives. There has to be some benefit then, right? We've always been doing it. Argue the truth is that there's really no benefit to worrying. There's no benefit, then why do we constantly make the choice to worry? It's time for you to delete worry entirely. So here's your training exercise. Let's take a moment to really hone the answer to this question. What is the point of worrying? Ask yourself, what benefit does worrying give me? Can you truly find a positive benefit? I want you to really search, dig deep. Think about all the worries you've had your entire life and see if there really is a big benefit. Why do we constantly choose to worry? That's right. I said choose. In every moment, you have a choice. You have the free will to choose what will or won't serve you. And if you look at the example Mother Nature has offered to us, then you might see animals and plants don't spend their time worrying because they're constantly focused on the present moment. Knowing that in every present moment you're okay, then what have you got to worry about? I've noticed that it's become socially acceptable to worry. It's easy to engage in a conversation about your problems rather than your successes. The next time you're engaged with someone who's complaining, ask yourself if you want to join this club of misfortune or if you could choose to talk about something positive. How are you going to do that? How are you going to remember to do that? Get a thought provoker. And don't be afraid to jump back into that conversation the next day if you remember and change it. Okay. Shall we go a little deeper? Yeah. Poise, P-O-I-S-E, poise. It's kind of blurry, but poise is the opposite of worry. Acting with poise is acting within a state of balance. Someone with poise possesses steadiness, composure, and demonstrates ability, living in a dignified, self-confident manner. Poise is completely demonstrated when you know what you want and you also know how to do it. Let's take driving, for example. An experienced driver has poise. There's no thinking about driving that needs to be done. Every move, checking the rearview mirror, turning on blinkers, changing lanes, coming to a stop, driving the appropriate speed, watching out for obstructions and dangers, etc. It's all automatic, all done with poise, right? I demonstrate poise as a driver today, but I did not when I was learning how. You probably didn't either. There were plenty of times where I easily demonstrated worry to myself and everyone around me. But as I practiced the action of driving and learned from my mistakes, I became more and more confident with my driving to where now, today, I drive with poise. Notice I mentioned the action of driving, not the thinking of driving. Thinking was enough. I would have had everything I needed to drive by watching the videos and reading instructions in my driver's education class. You can have the thought to be a poised driver, but only action by driving will give you the opportunity to really be a poised driver. Whether you have poise or not today does not matter. What matters is this. Do you want poise in every move you make? If you do, then you have to start acting with poise. Keep at it. If you make a mistake, learn from it, and do not make the same exact mistake again. Every mistake has an equivalent opportunity for success. When every move you make is intended to be full of poise, you are unstoppable. Even when you make a mistake, you are still successful because you are learning how to constantly have poise in your life. A mistake only means you figured out a way not to do things. All that is left at that point is to not do that same thing the same way again. Turn your worry into poise. Yeah. Next video, we're going to dive into perfection and what's wrong with it. Yeah? It's going to be good. All right. You may have noticed also, like I said, this is January 4th, right? So had some Christmas decorations. Those are gone. Got those down quick. And lowered my ears yesterday. So a few changes. I'd like to probably grow out a beard, but I think I'm going to finish this video series before we do that, because there might be a few extra grays in there, which would just make me look even more smart, right? That's thinking a better thought on gray hair. I hope you guys have made it this far. And again, if this is the first time you're watching this, I'd really encourage you to go start at the beginning. And don't forget, you can go to thinkabetterthought.com, click on workbook, give me your email, and you'll get the free workbook that has every chapter summary. It's got room for your gratitude list. It's got every training exercise. It's got every go deeper challenge. So it's yours if you want it for free. And I encourage you to get it. It's good stuff. Okay, guys. We're going to talk about perfection next time, huh? All right. Cool. Just think a better thought. Yeah.